Hey there YouTube, so it's Friday, so that can only mean the pickup video. A couple of quick housekeeping items here just off the top before I show you some cards. And I've definitely got a small stack here to show you, so we'll show off a couple of these things here that we picked up. It's going to be a full Mike Modano mail day, mail week again, so I think there'll be a couple of those coming up here. Although I am kind of looking at some other stuff, but there is some big ticket items that should definitely be coming in that are probably going to slow down the purchases over the next little while. So we'll kind of see, we'll play by ear, and we'll see how it goes for the rest of November and into December. One of the things I am targeting for December is probably getting that ComC lot in there, and that would definitely bring a mail day with a lot of variety. If and when I do that, that'll definitely get its own dedicated video, so you can look forward to that. If and when that happens, it'll probably be in December. Now, as far as other housekeeping items on the channel, there haven't been a lot of like regular videos lately, and I want to kind of change that. So there's definitely one that I'm kind of working on right now down the pipeline, and I think this will be mostly helpful for international viewers on my channel. Folks in the US probably won't need this as much, but I'll still put it out there just in case it interests you. One thing that I was looked at recently was a suggestion I received on one of my live streams, and I believe it on video as well. Terry, I believe, is one of the folks that mentioned it, and if I can find the comment, I'll put it on the screen for you, and suggested that I check out Ship My Cards. And part of the reason for that is because being in Canada, a lot of times if you buy from certain American sellers, some of them don't want to send internationally across the border, which is fine. That's their prerogative. It does limit your market, but it is your prerogative still. But for other ones, it's also that since they use the eBay international shipping service, it ends up making relatively cheap cards much more expensive. So looking at other options is always something that we try to do, because it does get to be a bit pricey with customs and with all the rest of it. You do have to pay customs still no matter what, but it's not quite as expensive as the eBay's version would have you believe, especially with their handling fees included. So I did set up something with them, and I'm almost at the point where I have completed a full transaction. I actually received the FedEx shipping notice today, but unfortunately they weren't able to deliver because you have to prepay the duty, which is lovely. So I'll try to probably get that early next week. So that means probably it'll end up in next week's mail day, along with a video probably related to my experience with Ship My Cards. So you can probably look forward to that. Last item I'm going to mention here before we get to the cards is going to be that this weekend, normally I'd have my live stream on Sunday. I was planning on having one with a meet, like usual, like we've done every other Sunday. He has been super swamped, busy with work, so he did let me know that with a little bit of advance notice. My inclination right now is still to do the live stream. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do one tomorrow or Sunday. I'm actually trying to reach out to see if I can get myself a co-host or somebody to come on with me. If worse comes to worse, it'll probably be on Sunday if I can't get anybody. Then if I do that, it'll be kind of me hanging out, sorting some cards. And if you want to join me, by all means, because it'll be kind of an open Q&A. And it'll just be talking about different things and talking about cards, showing off a couple of different cards and that kind of thing. So if there is some interest in that, kind of let me know. And if you have any questions, you can certainly put them in the comments in this video. The usual way that I say, any comments or questions are welcome. Anyway, so let's take a look at this. So we definitely made a dent in some of the Modano card count and some really nice cards here towards the end. So a few of these I'll kind of zip through quickly, but the rest of them will definitely take a little time to look at. So the first one here is an Artifacts base card. So it is kind of a short printed base card. So this one is from, let's see what year, that is 08-09. So I've really been focusing on the playing years, Modanos, even some of the late year playing years. So this one's numbered to 999. This is a bronze version. There's a couple of different parallels to that. This one I believe is a 2011 draft card. So this one came from the draft when they were in Minnesota in 2011. So it is a pinnacle card using a rookie year kind of year picture Modano. Appropriate given to Minnesota. And that's the back of that one. A 2011 draft card. This one here doesn't look like much. This is one of those kind of early 90s variants that are sometimes a little tricky to come by. So I'll show this one to you. So this is from Topps Premier. Now this one looks almost exactly like the O-Pee-Chee Premier of the same year, same design. The differentiator really is on the back, and that is where you get the all English versus the English and French of the O-Pee-Chee Premier. But otherwise, same card number, same picture, pretty much the same. But another one off the checklist. Same kind of deal on this one. This is 94.95, and this one is this one would be the O-Pee-Chee, or basically the French version if you really want to get down to it. Again, the front looks the same. And in this one you have the English and the French. So there you go. This one here is a nice card, actually. Not expensive. You would think it's a little bit more because it is kind of a nice card. I have a soft spot for $98.99 when Topps was doing its stuff in $98.99. I believe in $97, $98 and those in $96, $97 or $97, $98 for sure. I don't think Topps had any product in there. I might be misremembering the dates, but I feel like $98, $99 they came back and they had a couple of different products, including the Topps product. And in addition to that, you were able to get yourself some O-Pee-Chee Chrome, and part of that came with the Refractors. Always nice to have a refractor in a mail day like this. These are actually not too expensive, but you do have to locate them. I think the design actually did very well with the refractor design. And they do label these in the back right there. So there's the O-Pee-Chee Chrome, $98.99. And it does have a little bit of etching, which is always a bonus. So you can tell right around there. Nice. Okay, especially when we can get some of those late 90s representations, always good. This one is in the same vein. So this is 97, 98 Omega. So this is the dual card with Belfour. So this is the copper parallel. Both pictured for the All-Star team that year. Next one here is another 97, 98. This one is a Pacific Revolution team checklist. So this is a die cut. A little hard to see, but it is die cut. So hopefully you can see a little bit through that. Pretty cool with the die cut. Laser. So there's another one for 97, 98. Okay, this next one here is 98, 99. This is Revolution, which is actually a pretty neat looking card anyway, but this is the red parallel. So you have to look around the center here. You can see the nice shine. 4 going on in the background. Very busy design, I won't deny that. Pretty cool looking, especially you got the foil on the name as well. So these are numbered to $2.99. 98, 99 Pacific Revolution, red parallel. Same idea here. This is the red parallel as well. So this one is the Omega, 98, 99 as well. And in this one, they do etch out the player a little bit. You can sort of make that out if you tilt it right. This one is not numbered. So we're knocking down some more of those late 90s parallels. This one here, I believe, is also supposed to be the red, although it looks more like a little bit of a kind of purple or wine color. So this is 2000, 2001 Crown Royale. I was looking at the other parallels, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be the red, but it does look a little bit more wine color to me. But anyway. Trick with this one is that the die cut always makes these tricky because they're prone to a lot of chipping. This one doesn't seem too bad, but I'm sure if I stare at the back here, I could definitely find some chipping if I look across it, because they are super prone to that. Another one off the list. This one here, I believe, is 99 2000 Revolution, and this is the Showstoppers insert. Not sure exactly what the theme was on this one, but it is colorful. Very cool. This one I like as well. This is, I believe, 97, 98 SP Authentic. And this one here is the Hollow FX parallel version. Yep, SP Hollow FX. And you got the nice hologram there at the bottom, along with the die cut. This is the Hollow FX die cut parallel. If you remember back, I used to collect a lot of baseball, and one of the things, if you go back to the early 90s, this is very much a early Upper Deck baseball hologram design, because they would include one of those holograms per pack with the different teams, and the logo would be kind of 3D-ish and pop. I really get that vibe with this. Very cool. Back is pretty straightforward. Okay, this next one here, these next two are regular base cards. Need those as well to fill in part of the collection. So this is late in his playing days, 2008, 2009 SPX. Does have a little bit of shine going for it, which is nice. Always a bonus. unnumbered base card. Next one here is also SPX, but this is a year later. This is 2009, 2010 SPX. This time they went with just kind of a regular foil. I definitely prefer the previous year's design. Not super exciting on this one. Again, unnumbered. This one feels like they mailed it in a little bit. But anyway, it's part of the collection. We add that one in as well. This one here I was pretty sure I had. And as a matter of fact, I feel like if I searched a little bit more, I feel like it's somewhere in one of my boxes. But anyway, I didn't have it marked off the checklist, so be it. So this is 93, 94. This is Power Play Hockey. Basically the tall boy Modano. So I had the insert not that long ago, added to the collection, and I was pretty sure I had this one already. Pretty clean, straightforward card. I also appreciate that they had the black jersey. So this is basically the last year in Minnesota. So this is the transitional period. So they've gone to this black jersey. Obviously there's no Dallas here, and they don't have any of the shoulder patches that would indicate Dallas. Those would come on later. So it is kind of a cool card to show off that transitional period just in between. And you have the, I think it was the 75th year of the Stanley Cup patch, I believe. No, on second thought, it might be the 100th year of the Stanley Cup. It looks like the patch is a centennial. I'll double check that, but I was trying to get a better look at that patch there. It looks like 1893 to 1993, but I could be wrong on that. Anyway, kind of neat. With cards like this, you definitely want to take a second and just kind of appreciate the picture, and you can get a better sense of it. It's kind of interesting. But yep, I believe that's what it says. But anyway, cool card. Another one off that early 90s section of the collection. Definitely a needed card. Next one here, 2001, 2002, UD Premier Collection. So there's a base card as well, but this is numbered to $3.99. These ones we don't need to get quite nearly as excited about, but you still need to knock them off because sometimes it's these base cards that kind of just linger on the checklist for a while. Decent card for what it is. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that. I like this next one as well. This one here, though, is the Be a Player Millennium. So I think this is 99, 2000, I want to say. And one of the things that I was missing, kind of a glaring hole in the collection, considering all things, is that I didn't have the base autograph. Design-wise, it's very futuristic, Millennium Signature Series. I actually got a vault version of this as a placeholder. Still part of the collection as well. But this one is the actual regular, good old-fashioned, no vault. Just an SP autograph card, Modano, from the late 90s, early 2000s. These next couple all came as part of a group, and we're going to get some nice shine, followed by a nice memorabilia piece here. So let's take a look at, let's do 2000, 2001, Topps Chrome. So this is a playoff highlights. Now look at that. I always position the light directly above so that hopefully you can get a sense of it. And like in the light, this is absolutely nuts. Like I said, I've said previously, there's certain designs where the refractor really pops. This year and this type of design is definitely one of them. There's no doubt. There's some of them where you're a little bit borderline. It's like, oh yeah, is it a refractor? Is it not a refractor? This is a refractor. There is no question. You're not going to accidentally mistaken it. Some of them are a little bit more subtle. Like this one still definitely is a refractor, but look at this. Still very nice, and I like the 98, 99 design. But there's certain sections where it clearly stands out a lot more versus this thing where it's basically just a rainbow in your face. Big difference. Next one here is actually part of the same year, but is the other version of it. This is the O-Pee-Chee Chrome, and this one is the O-Pee-Chee Chrome refractor version of the base card. Again, same thing. Very much, when you position it correctly, it is a rainbow in your face. There isn't much subtlety in it. And I think when you've got a heavy dose of silver, it definitely does a lot of that. And these cards definitely pop. They did label them as well, so you can definitely find the refractor there like that. But there you go. Hopefully that's not too much rainbow shine for you, but I wanted you to get a sense of it. So this is 2000, 2001 O-Pee-Chee Chrome refractor. This next one was part of that same envelope. So this is a nice card as well. This is 2000, 2001. This is Revolution Game Gear. A pretty high serial number considering, but still relatively a tough card. I have seen a couple of these around. It's not like one of those things that I never see, but they're not around all the time. So this is a nice example here. So numbered to 200. 2-color swatch and a stick piece. Game gear. And I do appreciate, I actually kind of like the Pacific Authentic foil piece that they always put on there. Pretty clean design. It's a nice aesthetic with the game gears. So these are pretty good looking cards. Definitely a nice piece. Actually, while I'm talking about this, let me make sure I grab this for after. Usually have a card that we'll show off at the end, so we'll put this in position for later. Maybe we'll even grab a second here this time around. All right, let's do 2. So we'll get to that in a minute. Man, these are crooked. Probably have to buy new ones. Anyway, okay, these next 2 are 2 nice cards, but they are deceptive. I'm a big fan of them, but they are a little bit tricky if you don't know what you're looking at. Okay, first one here. This is 2002-2003. Be a Player Signature Series. And this is the Team Quads card. So it's a quad jersey card of Marty Turco, Jason Arnott, Mike Modano, and Bill Guerin. Now the thing about these is, in traditional Be a Player fashion, and in the game of the day, is they don't number it, they don't label it, they don't do anything, and if you just looked at it, it's like, oh, you know, it's a quad jersey card. Very cool. These are limited to 10 copies. These are actually pretty tough. I've definitely come across them in my day, but not like a ton of times. But these are definitely tricky. Very nice card to add to the collection and kind of a hidden one. If you don't know what you're looking at, now you know. 2002-2003 Be a Player Signature Series. The Team Quads, these are tough. Next one is kind of in the same vein, a little bit different, but 2001-2002 Be a Player Signature Series as well. This one is the Franchise Players. This is Modano by himself. Again, nothing that seems to stand out too much. It feels like a lot of the Be a Player and in the game jersey cards of the era. Nothing labeling it as anything in particular, but these ones are limited to, this Modano is limited to 28 copies. Again, kind of deceptive. If you don't know and you don't look it up, you wouldn't realize. These are actually pretty tough. 2001-2002 Be a Player Signature Series, Franchise Players, Modano. All right, we've got 2 nice little cards here to finish it off, you know. Matt would appreciate. We call them little cards around here. But anyway, this one here is a 500 Gold Club Marks. So this is a 2011-2012. So this breaks from my playing day theme that has been the majority of the mail day. But this is, I think it's a worthy card for it. 500 Gold Club Marks, Mike Modano, numbered to 25. So it's a patch piece here, autographed. Number 25. Design-wise, not too bad. Now, one thing you got to remember about these is they are manufactured. They do label it appropriately. It is an autographed card, but it is a manufactured patch. And unlike some of the ones, and I did receive a question about this when I put it on Instagram, unlike some of the other years, there isn't like a whole thing that you're going to spell out with this. This one here, I believe it's just 500 Gold Club. And I believe that's what the various cards in there spell, and this is the L. I don't know if it's in gold or club, I forget. I believe I saw a picture of it showing at one point. But all the Modanos, I believe, that I've seen out of the 25 are going to be the letter L. So you will get a consistency with that. So once you have one, you've got one. So that's one card I'm going to show off here at the end. And now the final card for the mail day. Another nice one to add to the collection as well. Anytime you can add anything from the cup is always great. There are certain cards, though, that you kind of, with the opportunity presents itself, you got to go for it. And this was definitely one of those. So this is from 2009-2010, a year I'm familiar with, especially with the cup, because it is also Jamie Benn's rookie year. So it's something I've gone after a bunch of his cards from that year. But this one is a Modano. So this one is a dual scripted swatches, Mike Modano, along with Patrick Kane. So 2 autograph number patches. That's what they put on here. I don't think this is a number piece, but anyway. But they are 2 patches, and they are autographed, for sure. The only downside I see with it, design-wise, it's pretty clean. I like that. I will say that autographing a lot of these pieces like this fabric, always leads to a lot of like blurry signatures. So you can see what happened with the Modano there. The Patrick Kane's not so bad, but it was a really thin pen. I think it's like a paint pen he used for this. And this one looks like a little bit more of a Sharpie or something. I will say that I do appreciate that this patch here has a little bit of the star on it. So I think it's probably from the shoulder patch. It does look pretty nice though, and these are, and this one is numbered to 5. So a really limited piece. 2009, 2010, the Cup. Dual scripted swatches, Mike Modano and Patrick Kane. And with that, we'll call it a day. So we'll finish off on these two. So with the pickups this week, we did get a bunch of different cards, especially really hit on those those 90s cards and some of the early 2000s. So with all the pickups, we end up at 1,627 unique Mike Modano cards. So now we've clearly passed 1,600 on our way moving towards 1,700. One of the packages that I mentioned earlier about Ship My Cards, that may bolster that number nicely and get us closer to 1,650 or thereabouts. And there's some other really nice cards that I have down the pipeline that hopefully will come over the next couple of weeks. And we should have some fun mail days coming up as well in the coming days. One other piece I'll give you as well is that leaves us now at 146 certified autographs and 246 memorabilia cards. So occasionally I like to throw in some of those other figures as well because it's interesting to me to kind of just keep track and see how I go along those different numbers as I add more pieces to the collection. Last point I mentioned earlier a little bit is that I'm likely going to do a live stream. If I do, whether it's with a guest or without a guest, I'd love to get any questions you have just about the hobby in general. There's been a bit of a lull, obviously, as there hasn't been anything crazy coming up. We've already done the fractional sharing. We've talked about that a little bit. We've talked about, the rise of Pokemon a little bit. We've talked about different kind of entrance into the market, collectors, the scarcity of retail. I'm more than happy to revisit any of these topics in any way that you see fit or that you have some interest in it. Maybe you'd like some clarification on something. I'm more than happy to do that. But that's going to be part also of figuring out maybe some new regular videos to put on the channel again. My plan is to start working on that a little bit more now that we've got a little bit of a downtime. Last piece I'll mention to you as well is that in the next week or so, next week I believe we're going to have the virtual expo. So that should be pretty good. Not this weekend, but the weekend after. We're going to have the virtual expo. So that'll definitely be something worth talking about. And probably I'll make a video based on that as well. So between the Ship My Cards and the virtual expo video, I'll have at least a couple of regular videos in addition to any live streams I do between now and then. That's it for me. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.